My name is Robin Nicole, and I was born on May 8th, 1972. I came in on the Heralds of Light frequency as a way shower of freedom, along with the energy of independence for all. I came to hold the light. I came to help make the world a better place to live in. I also came in with a Chiron wounding in Aries, which means I have a deep core wound around empowerment, self-worth, and rejection. My parents named me Robin, not just because the robin bird is the first sign of spring, but to remind me that I was born to fly, to spread my wings and soar through life, and that I am allowed to take up space in this world. I matter, and I can make a difference to myself and others. I come to finally remember, to finally break the chains that bind, to finally turn the key and open my heart to joy, peace, and happiness. I do this in so many ways that it is way too much to explain in a short bio. I am not just one thing, and I never feel as though I have arrived. As every moment new beliefs arise and new mysteries unfold, I change and evolve. I am light. I am and always will strive to make a difference, to help my fellow man grow and evolve around me, to teach by example, and to always speak my truth. I invite you to get to know me, explore through the eyes of Robin's world. My world revolves around color, around sound, around always seeking to connect fully with my higher self. When I am fully in balance, I create so many things. I am a way shower. I am an artist. I am a channeler of all that is. I am a starlight master who puts one foot in front of the other, even through the toughest of times, and push through adversity, to shine my light out into the world as bright as I possibly can. Hello, hello, all you beautiful, beautiful beings of light. I'm coming to you today. It is, I don't even know what today's date is. Let me find out the date. Okay, I had to look up the date because I don't know what the date is. Today is Sunday, the 24th of September, 2023. And I thought I would do a video blog because I finally had some help today, and I got my hair done. I just had my hair washed, and I got new pajamas on me, and I'm all kind of like fresh, and I thought this would be a good time to actually sit down and do a video to talk a little bit about what I've been going through since Monday, this last week. So today's Sunday, and what I've been going through since then. And as you can see, I'm dressed a little bit differently. My hand is up, the hand's under here. I basically fell, and I broke my humerus right here. This is where your humerus is. I won't be showing you all the bruising and everything. I mean, it's deeply black. My arm is black. There is no cast because they can't put a cast here. And so they have me kind of in this, like, there's a sling kind of coming down here. There's two of them. One is holding my hand up into this position, so it's coming around my wrist, and this is holding everything in place. And then there's another one going down around my elbow, holding all of the rest of my arm together so that it doesn't move around, so that this part of the bone will heal. Now, this means that I am back in where I was back in 2015 when I fell and broke my humerus. And I also broke my wrist that time. So this time I'm grateful I didn't break the wrist. I only broke the humerus, and I didn't break where it was broken. I broke up a little bit above it. So it was broken kind of, if you look in my arm, like around here, but in the back of my arm. And this time it is up here, kind of like right next to the armpit area. And when I first fell and when I first realized it, I actually um, felt like my arm was dislocated, but it wasn't. It was just broken. um, so everybody wants to know how it happened. So basically, um, I was defrosting my freezer, and I was just getting finished, and I was in my bare feet because I didn't want to, like, usually I wear my Crocs around the house, and we have tile floors, and so I didn't want to wear the Crocs because I slip instantly with those. And so I was just getting done cleaning, and I had a pile of towels that were soaking wet from the defrosting of the freezer. And so I said, okay, I'll take these back to the washing machine. So I took them back, and as I didn't realize it, but they were dripping, and I left a trail of drip all the way to the washing machine. And then when I came back to come to step down to dry off the rest of the floor with another dry towel, I just went to go, because there's, in my house there's like a little archway doorway kind of thing coming from one part of the house to the other, and then you have to step down. There's basically one step. You basically step and then step. Well, it's one step, but it ends up being two steps, if that makes any sense, to get down to the kitchen again. And I just went to just step down onto the step, and the step had water on it, and my feet went out from underneath me, and my feet flew out, and I knew I was falling. And so I was trying to catch myself, I grabbed the wall. There's like the door jamb, like the thing around the wall, to try to catch myself from falling, and I held onto the wall. And as I'm falling, I'm kind of going too far away, and my arm just went snap and pull, and it just broke right there. And then I fell, and I landed on kind of like the side of my bum and my leg, kind of like where your sciatic nerve kind of goes down. And I didn't break that, but I got a very, very, very big, huge black bruise all over my leg, my back of my leg. And I probably, I really realize, I think that if I didn't grab the wall, I probably would have bammed my head back onto the cement step. I would have, I don't know what I would have done. I could have damaged my neck. I could have killed myself, or I could have done something to my back and been basically paralyzed or whatever. I don't know. So I could have really done like a really bad job on that. So um, I'm having a little bit of like PTSD trying to walk around the house because I'm afraid I'm going to fall every second. I hope that will settle down, but especially when I have to go up and down the step, because I have to go there to get to the bathroom. And so it's just very, very careful, walking and like watching to make sure the dog hasn't brought any water on his paws or anything like that. We kind of, like, everybody in our house is freaking out about wetness now on the floor. But so we have these beautiful tiles that we put on the floor, and now I have fallen about 5 or 6 times because of the tiles, and this one was the worst. I ended up having to go to into the ambulance, and they took me up to the hospital, which is a 45-minute drive. It took 45 minutes for them to get here, and then 45 minutes for me to get up there to the hospital. I requested no I didn't really take very much for the pain because I'm very sensitive to anything that has opiate based, very sensitive to just about any kind of painkiller that they can give you. They tried giving me gas and air, that stuff that they give you when you're in labor for the pain, when they went to go put my arm up to get me up off the floor. And I just said, please just let me try. Let's just try doing this without that gas and air. They were very gentle with me. And those paramedics, one was called Sean and one was called John. And, and then I think it was John that was actually driving I can't remember which one now. Maybe that was Sean. I don't know. One of the fellas was driving and one of them was in the back with me. And I said to the one in that was driving, I said, you be very good boy. You don't drive very fast, because like I could feel my bone was moving inside my arm. I knew it was broken. And I remember from the last time when I broke my humerus that it just moves around in there. It's so painful. And so he was very good trying to maneuver, but it was a 45-minute drive, and every time he kind of had to go into a roundabout, or every time he had to kind of like curve towards the so when every time he would kind of turn towards the right, like if there was a curve on the road that was towards the right, it was like, ooh, I was like sitting there holding my hand the whole time going, oh God, please don't move. And the whole back of the thing is going all over the place like this, boom, 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 and my arm is going ow, ow, ow. And and also I get car sick, and I was like in the back of this ambulance, and I was sitting backwards, and then they did close, there was like little shades they closed on each side of me, but I could still see everything kind of like flowing back. So I was just kind of the eyes closed the whole time and trying not to get sick, holding my arm so that it wouldn't like get moved whenever the car bumped or went onto a curve. And then when he was slowing the last bit, because he was going at a good speed, because it was like a good like straight road, and then when he had to slow down when he was coming into the town near where the hospital is, I could feel him slowing down, really like it was a gradual slow down, but my whole arm, the pressure, and I could feel it. It was so gross. And then as right before we got to the hospital, I then couldn't hold anymore with the nausea, and I ended up vomiting right before they actually parked the ambulance. And they got me in anyway. And my husband and my son were driving in the car afterwards, but they told them not to hurry up, because they still had to do like a changeover thing with me. So they kind of showed up like after I had gone through like the triage, and they had done an x-ray, and it was broken. I just came out of x-ray, and then my husband got there, my son, and they got there when I found out that my arm was broken. And then we just kind of had to sit around for a while to decide like what the doctors were going to do with it. And they did end up saying they didn't think it was going to need surgery, which is good. I didn't want to have surgery if I don't have to. And so they just decided that the best course of action would be to kind of set it and just leave me go home and then check it afterwards. They had sent me to like a trauma clinic kind of thing. And so when they set it, they can't set this thing. They just had to get me into a position and put this sling thing on, this cuffy thing they call it. Let's see if I can get it to come down a little bit more so you can see this kind of material, and it's kind of going around my neck and going around my arm, and it's keeping the arm kind of in this position so that this part of the arm won't move. And basically, and then they didn't even give me this blue one right away. This, I have a thing on top of it because it's scratching. The Velcro scratches my neck. But there's also a blue sling that's over the top of it now. And this is actually the blue sling that I had from the last time I broke my humerus. I happened to save it. And they, for some reason, didn't put it on. And when I was riding home from the hospital, it was like my arm was moving all over the place. It wasn't good. And so by the time we got home, And the trauma clinic called me. I said, listen, like my arm, I need something to go around my elbow, to hold this up, like, and because it was really tiring. I was holding it up with my hand like this. I was like doing this whole thing, trying to keep it in the position. And so they just said that I could come back up, and there was no way I was going to get into the car and drive all the way back up. I said, I have one of these that I had from the last time. So we got it out, put it on, and now they told me they read the x-ray, the doctors looked at it. She doesn't feel that it needs to have surgery at this point, so they're waiting for 2 weeks. They gave me an appointment for October 4th. I go in and they'll re-x-ray and they'll see how it's healing, and then they'll make a decision if they need to, what they need to do next. And so this could be, I'm looking at anywhere from 6 to 12 weeks for it to actually heal, and then we're looking at physiotherapy to try to get my strength back and everything in my arm afterwards. So all said and done, it's probably going to be into the new year before my arm is actually like working like it used to. And the first thing that happened to me, so now we're going to talk about this. Okay, so the first thing that happened to me when I realized that I broke my humerus again, I started going back to when it happened last time. And when it happened, this was in 2015 on Christmas Eve. When this happened the last time, the way that it was broken, basically it would start healing. And then when I started doing the physio, when I started, they had me putting it was like a can of peas over my head. I'd be laying on the bed, and then they had me doing this thing where I was putting this can of peas behind my head. And all of a sudden it really started hurting very badly. Went back to them. This was like in May, and I said, Jesus, is hurting really, really bad. And I hear something kind of like moving around in there every time. Like I can feel something moving every time, like I'm moving my arm. And I literally had to like pick my arm up with I couldn't just like lift, I couldn't like put my arm up like that. I had to kind of like use my other arm to kind of lift it a little bit. And they said that that shouldn't be right. And so they looked in and they realized that it had basically it had come unhinged. So it was like a hinge. So part of it was healed, and then part of it, every time it moved, would kind of like go like this. And so they knew that it would never heal back again. So they had to go in and put some. They had to put some. I think they put a plate or pins or something in there. And so that's the reason why I didn't break in that spot again, because it's totally put together and it has a nice little plate there, so it shouldn't actually break in that one spot ever again. Um, and so I was thinking about how, because by the time they did that, they did the surgery in June. And then I remember I got out of, like, I was in physio in October, and they were telling me that I didn't have to come back to physio anymore, but I still had to work on that arm, and it took a long time. And it took a long time for the swelling to go down. I mean, like, I think it was 2 or 3 years afterwards, the swelling was still there. So I was just kind of like in my head going, oh my God, I don't know if I can do this. And also with this type of a break, you cannot lean backwards or kind of lean sideways or anything, because like you're putting pressure, like as soon as you go down to lay down or go lay sideways or whatever, you start putting pressure right where the break is, and after it just really hurts. So to lay down is not an option. And so you're seeing me here. I have a couch here in my office, and I have the phone is actually sitting on my chair. I have a swivel office chair, and I kind of put my legs up onto the office chair. I got my blankets, and I'm all kind of like set up, and it's really nice. And um, I can't get to it now because I have to get up to get it. So I'm broke, I can't reach it. But I have one of those like donut-y kind of things like that you wear when you're It kind of goes around the back of my neck, and you wear it when you're, like on an airplane or whatever. So I can kind of go like this or like that. I can get really comfortable, and I don't have to worry about like laying down. And so I have been able to like get some sleep. And I was just thinking, like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this again. Like, that was almost a year of my life, and it was not easy to heal from that. It was horrible. And so I kept going around in my head. I'm in the hospital. They've told me I've broken my humerus again, and I'm just kind of sitting there trying to come to terms with the fact that I know what's ahead, you know? And I know, like, it means I can't go for a swim anymore. Swim's my coping mechanism. For me to go for a swim is like, it's everything. Plus, I have fibromyalgia type of pain all over my body, and swimming and aqua aerobics is the only thing that keeps me going and makes it so that I don't have pain. And so, no more steams, no more saunas. I know that's going to be for a while before I can do that again. Um, Going for like a normal walk, walking the dog. I'm not going to be able to do that anymore. Poor dog isn't going to have a walk. My poor little neo noodle, he's not going to get a walk, and he's kind of a little bit hyper. And then there's another thing, like the dog can't come around me because if he's a puppy and he wants to jump on me and he's all excited and everything. And so I have to make sure he's not anywhere near me. And we're trying to maneuver all of that. And I just know, like, also, I am a person that if I don't exercise, I put on weight. And so I know that I'm going to be struggling that as well, trying to battle that. So, first thing, it was like no more carbohydrates as much as possible. Um, I had to really, really watch everything that I eat. And, like, I was just thinking, oh God, this is going to be a long road. And I wasn't sure if I could actually do this again. I was just like, oh. And so came home, first night of sleep was not great. And I put a call out for help in the middle of the night, for people to help me send me healing, because I just wasn't able to do it. A whole bunch of you did send me healing, and I really thank you for that. And then at a certain point, it got to be like it was too much, and my guides were like, "You've taken in enough. You just need to sleep, and you're stabilized. Everything is okay." And they actually, I want to say said to me, but like, what I got from like some cards, and just kind of like, I was talking with some friends who got onto a Zoom call. They were going to send me healing, and we ended up having a conversation instead. And what I got from it was, there is some wound, that there's a deep wound. There's some things that I need to work on, some things that I need to look at. And if everybody was to just send me healing, then it would be kind of like a fast track thing, and it would be better for me to do the work. I need to do the work in order so that I can finally heal this. There is a reason why this happened. It happened once already in 2015, which was a huge awakening for me. That was like the thing that woke me up totally to what I'm doing now. And I believe that this is also part of this, and this is the last bit. My guides have been telling me since, like, for the last 6 months, that I'm at the end of this cycle. I'm getting ready to step into the new cycle, which is going to be a totally different Robin, a totally different me. I'm not going to be the same person that I was before. And so I really think that this break was like the end of that cycle, and it's giving me a chance to kind of reprioritize, fix a few things, and to be able to start something new. So I want to talk a little bit about what I have figured out. And I did figure this out with the help of my friends who got on the call with me, and we started talking about things. And there was a couple things that kind of came through. And so I just wanted to kind of share it with you. The first thing that came through was this control. I have to have be in control of everything. And it all started back with my mother. It was a wound that I had. It was an abandonment wound that I had when I was born. My mother couldn't hold me for the first 9 months because she had a blood clot in her leg and she was on some kind of medication. And she couldn't hold me. My dad had to do everything for me, which kind of explains why I'm a daddy's girl. And he did absolutely everything for me. And then my mother and I never really bonded exactly the way you should be. Even though she was there, the bond, she didn't get a chance. And and she was a little bit of a very controlling um woman. And um everything had to be done her way. And everybody usually did everything for her, and then basically we did her bidding. And I used to hate that about her. And then I got married, and then divorced, and now I'm with somebody else. And I think in the conversation it came out that there is a bit of the way that my mother controlled me that I kind of took on. And so I wasn't as controlling as she was, but there were like different aspects of control that I need to like deal with. And it was coming up because um I'm helpless now. Like I couldn't do anything for myself right now. And then of course my husband is he's fighting back at me because I'm saying you need to do this, you need to do that. Like there I was getting so upset with him because he wasn't doing everything the way that the way it needed to be done. Like the laundry had to get done, and he was like, "Oh, don't worry about it. It always gets done. I put it over here in the bin on the side of this sock bin thing, or the place where I put all my dirty clothes, and magically I find them in my drawer. And so don't worry about it because it always gets taken care of." And he was being very sarcastic about it, and I was like, why it gets taken care of? Because I'm the one that does it. And I was telling him I can't do this right now because I literally can't bend down to the ground and pick anything up. Um, I'm just totally completely like I'm useless as far as like what I can do. And so I have to let him do everything for me. I have to wait for him when he's ready to do things. Um, I have to wait for him to dress me, to wash me, to anything. So like I broke my arm on Monday, and today is Sunday, and it took me this long to get him to wash my hair because like he just kept sticking it up, and it was just like driving me crazy. It was like all frizzy and stuck, and anybody that has natural curly hair knows that our hair gets all knotted and everything, and it just gets a big huge frizz ball. And it was annoying me. I needed to shave my legs, and that was annoying me because I can't do that myself. I can't do anything. I can't wash myself. There's a whole like thing I have to go through to like do this. And he was getting upset with me because I was saying it needed to be done the way I wanted it done. And he was like, "You can't be in control of this. You have to just let yourself go sit in your room and just relax, and everything will get done, but it just like might not get done when you think it needs to get done." And it was driving me bananas. And so my friends that were helping me in this Zoom thing that we were trying to do to figure out, one of them said like, "How does it make you feel? Like let's look at this a little bit further." And as I started looking at it, it was like I think I have a little bit of this control that my mother had. And then I looked back and at different times of my life, and how it made me feel like, because they asked me, how did it make me feel? Did it make me feel like like I was better than other people or whatever. And actually what it ended up being was I have this habit of taking on too much and doing everything. Like if I'm working with a group of people, I'll say, I'll do this, I'll do that. I like sign up for the whole thing and I ended up doing everything in the thing. And then I get resentful when they don't actually help. I used to be in this artist craft collective, and there was 7 people that were like, we were the ones that were kind of like the main ones, and then there was like 30 other people, and we were all supposed to take like a day out of the 7. We were all supposed to take a day a week, and then there was 30 other people that were supposed to take one day a month to run this little store. And before we actually stopped doing it, I was actually like, some people had pulled out, like different people, they started and then they never finished and they pulled out. And then it got to the point where I was doing like, we weren't open on Sundays anymore. And I was doing like 4 out of the 6 days. And out of that, I was actually doing all of the window displays. I would organize, like we would be shifting people around the room so that like some people were like, people would always get seen, like so we changed the way that we had things on the shelves and stuff. And I was always like doing that. I was always like the one that took care of all of that. And I was always the one that did the cleaning, and I did everything for that place. And I started getting resentful in the end because like nobody else was like picking up any of the slack, but yet I didn't let them because like I had to do everything in my way. And so that was just like one example. um and there was a few other ones, and I was like, oh, okay, so me actually falling and becoming so helpless that I have to allow other people to help me. And it's very hard for me to receive. I'm very good at giving, but it's very hard for me to receive. So there's this like control thing. So I've had to work through that, and like through the week, I have had different times where I'd be in tears because my husband wouldn't help me the way I needed to have it done or whatever. And finally, I just had to kind of come to terms with that and say, you know what? I have to allow him to do things in the way that he does it, and just sit here and relax, and try to, even though yesterday I was going crazy because I just wanted to wash my hair, and he just was so busy. We run a business as well, and so he was actually doing, we had a birthday party yesterday where they were making little clay trees and tree people. And um, I'm usually out there doing it, and so he had to do it, and he had to do all the prep. I do all the prep. So he prepped for like 6 hours on Friday, and then he was out there, and he also had another appointment with a hands and feet and a family hands where he does the castings. And so he was out there from the time he woke up until I think it was around 5 o'clock, and he was wrecked. And so there was no like going to be washing my hair, and I wasn't going to ask him. I knew he was wrecked, and so I wasn't being demanding, even though it was driving me crazy. And then today, he just slept in, and then I had to wait all day. But then finally, when he was ready, he was like, do you want to go take the shower and get cleaned? And he took so much time with me, and he was so good. I felt like he had me all of the garbage bags around me, and he had me sitting in this chair, and I felt like I was at the beauty salon. He was doing my hair, and my hair's not easy to get through when it hasn't been done in a while. And he put all of the conditioners in and all the serums and everything in my hair. So he's going to come in now after it dries a little bit, and he's going to put it up for me so that it's not like hanging all over me. And and he kind of washed me. He shaved my legs for me. It was so nice. I feel so good because my legs, they were itching because they needed to be shaved, and I'm just so much happier about that. So I think that I am working through that, and I'm hoping that by the end of this whole thing I won't be into this control issue. And then something else kind of showed up. And so there's a little bit of a backstory on this one. So so last Friday, I think it was. It wasn't. It was the Friday. It was, so this is Sunday, but not this. It would have been the Friday before, not this Friday, but the Friday before. The Friday before I broke my arm, and I had been dealing with trying to figure out what to do with the Shine Your Light network. And I knew that it wasn't working anymore the way that I was doing it. And for some reason, I knew that something had to change, something had to give, because I had been contemplating the whole, like, I used to interview people, and the reason why I was interviewing people was to spark people, was to help people, find their passions, and to figure out, like, how to move through adversity, how to move through your wounds. And like, even like my video blogs were all about, like, I would go on and I would talk about my woundings because I have the Chiron wounding in Aries, and I would be talking about how I work through the woundings, right? And but there's been, like, for the last year, I have been really, like, not wanting to do interviews because I'm realizing that I want to have these, like, deep conversations, and uh, I want them to be inspiring. I want them to be empowering. And um, I was finding that the people in the collective, the only people that were interested in actually coming in and having a conversation with me, they were wanting to launch some kind of program they were doing, and or like a book or something. Like, everybody wanted to, they basically wanted to come on and have a conversation with me, not about the conversation about what I wanted to talk about on the channel, which was focusing on your passion and working through the adversity, and how, like, teaching by example that way. They basically just wanted to come on to promote their whatever it was that they were getting ready to launch. And um I was just like, this isn't what the Shining Light Network is supposed to be about. It's not supposed to be about, like, promoting. It's okay to promote people, but to basically, that's like all I'm doing is promoting somebody's launch of something. Like, that's not what it is. Like, that's not what the Shining Light Network is all about. And then I, I just last Friday, um I was in the same room, and I got guidance to basically take down all of the interviews because they don't resonate. They don't resonate with what the channel is all about. They're only about they're about basically promoting other people and what they're doing, but a lot of those conversations were not sparking people like what I had planned, what I had envisioned, what I my intention was through it. And so it was kind of like, let's go back to the drawing board. And so on Friday, I went into my Shine Your Light Network YouTube channel, and I took out, I had like 378 videos, and I took there's now only 190, and most of those are my video blogs that I've left behind. And the rest, I basically just deleted everything. I deleted the conversations because the people are not, we're in a time where everybody's just kind of chaotic, I feel like everybody's trying to be like, I'm the one. I'm the one you need to go to for the healing. And really, we have to do the healing ourselves. Each and every single one of us has to do it for ourselves. And if we just keep going to like other people for them to like fix us, then it's just a quick fix. It's not actually going to really fix you. You each and every one of us is responsible to take care of ourselves. It's called healing thyself. And everything that I have been writing in my book called Bringing Forward the New Golden Age of Miracles, which is I'm getting ready to finish that book and getting it out to you people. Everything in that book is all about bringing forward the new golden age of miracles in a much more balanced way. And so there's all kinds of tools and all kinds of techniques, and there's all kinds of, it's jam packed. Like, this information that's in there is like the Bible, and it's jam packed with all kinds of tools to help yourself heal yourself, so that you don't have to go to somebody and have them and pay all kinds of lots of money to somebody for them to do some kind of woo woo woo, and then all of a sudden you're supposed to be healed and then you don't feel any different afterwards because you didn't do the work. Like, it's not going, you're somebody else. Sure, it's all right for people to kind of assist you, um and it's good to ask and have sessions and go places and do things to have people help assisting you, but like at the end of the day, you're the one that has to do the work. And so you're the one that has to start living in the heart. Each and every one of us has to do it for ourselves. Nobody can do it for us. There's no activation out there that people can magically give to you and then you're all of a sudden living through the heart. It's something that you need to learn how to do. And it's a way of life. It's a way of living. And so I was guided to change even the channel name. And so it's no longer the Shine Your Light Network. It's now called the Heart-Based Living with Robin Nicole. And the focus is going to be totally changed on there. And I was going to be bringing up a new video and then I broke my arm. So to tell you kind of what the whole channel is going to be about. But it's basically, I'm going to keep coming on. I'm going to be doing video blogs, and I will keep channeling the EK Honia Collective, which is the child essence of the Ascended Masters. They come from what I've been told is the 17th dimension, and I will be different times channeling them, but I'm also going to be putting up content. Like, I'm going to be putting up a 30-day cellular repair regeneration course, and it's going to be very extensive, and it's going to be right up on the YouTube channel. I'm going to actually take my book and I'm going to turn it into an audiobook, and I'm going to put that up onto the YouTube channel for people to have the book. It's going to be like an audiobook version, and there's going to be tons of procedures that people can do to help themselves, all kinds of tools. It's all going to be about all of this stuff, everything to help raise your vibration, everything to help you towards moving into the new golden age of time. And so, and everything to basically help you live a heart-based life. And there is a lot about the three chambers of the heart that I would like to talk about. There's a lot of people living in the first and second chamber, but very few are living in the third chamber. And so I'll be teaching about that. I'll be talking about that on this. It's just going to be a really nice channel. Probably my talks will be long, and so only the people that are interested in listening to something long and they can push pause, they don't have to listen to it all at once, will enjoy it. It's not going to be one of those surface level type of YouTube channels. I'm not here to do like TikTok videos. I'm not here to to just do surface level. Everything that I'm going to be doing is going to be deep. We're going to go in deep. We're going to really, really focus on the heart-based living. I'm really excited about that. So when I was having the conversation with, because we're trying to figure out, why did I break my arm? Like, why all of a sudden when I'm making all these changes did I break my arm? Obviously, there's the control issue. And then I realized, when I was talking to the girls, I realized something. I am starting everything fresh this cycle. The guides have been saying that I'm at the end of this cycle, and they're telling me that there's keeps coming up all this information about there's like a wounding that we have, that we go through, and it can be kind of like a never ending cycle, like St. Ground, like you can work on it and work on it so much, and you peel back all the onions, and then you just keep into this never ending cycle of this wound. So I realized something about that, because they keep telling me that it's time to like basically let this wounding cycle go, and so that I can move into a new Robin, like rebirth a new Robin. And um so when I go into this new cycle, which is the heart-based living, I am leaving behind the wounded bird, the one that worked through all that adversity, and that basically that part of my journey is finished. And that's why the Shine Your Light Network, why I just took the whole thing down, basically, because the whole premise of the Shine Your Light Network was working through adversity, through the wounds, and I'm no longer going to be working through the wounds anymore, through the wounded bird. I have letting that cycle is gone. I am different than I was last year at this time, because I've done so much work on myself. And this is why all these things were bothering me with the interviews and all that, because I was seeing through all that, and I was also seeing that I want to talk about how to live in the heart, and how to move past that cycle. After a while, we can be done with that. We can be done with the whole like wounded bird thing, and not have to live in that every single day. And so even though I had changed the YouTube channel, I think like when I actually the break happened, and I think the break had to happen so that I would take extra time before I actually came down and started doing the heart-based living part of the YouTube channel. And I need to have time. And they have been instructing me since July to put together this 30-day cellular repair course, and where we go into all the cells. And I think that I needed to basically go offline. I needed to go offline, off everything, so that I can actually focus on cellular repair. And I'm going to be focusing on it for my arm, but I'm going to try to do the whole body, and I'm going to put the course together. And so I'm really excited. This morning, when I woke up, I realized I cannot do the journaling in my journal anymore, because it's just taking me too long to like write with my right hand. I'm printing, and I can't read it, and it's just like too much. So I opened up my computer, and I'm going to start doing my journaling. I'm going to kind of hunt and peck on the thing. But I'm going to sit here, and I'm going to actually start doing the cellular repair on myself. And then as I'm doing it, I will write the course, and I will record the course. And we will be able to, we will it'll be all kind of finished throughout the time that my arm is broken, as it's healing. And so this morning I got onto the computer, and my computer is running very slow because there's just so much taking up space. And so I'm going through it now, and I'm clearing. It's funny, I broke my arm, and now I'm clearing all the space in my computer so that my husband can do he's going to do a clear out on my, basically I have to put everything, save everything I want to have saved, and get rid of everything that I don't really want in there anymore, and then onto my little portable hard drive. And then he's going to wipe the computer, and we'll start it back over fresh so that the computer will start working better for me. Working, it'll be a lot more quicker in between, like, because it takes a very long time and the circle goes around for a long time on that. So I know this is a long video, but I just wanted to go in and tell you kind of like what's going on, and give you kind of like an update. And I know that I did put on my Facebook page, I told everybody that I thank you for sending me the healing that you sent, that I'm stabilized. And I would really appreciate, I want to just say thank you to all the people that helped me that first night. But I would really appreciate, I'm going to be putting up boundaries on that. I have to do the work. I have to do the healing. I have to fix. I have to go into the shadow. I need to look at things. I'm going to be taking some time out to look into, to go more into the shadow. I think I have done a lot of the shadow in this last week before I came up and did this part of the video, and this is what's kind of come about with it. And but there could still be more. And then I'm going to just really focus on cellular repair. I'm going to work on trying to heal this a little bit faster than what they're telling me that it will be. Now they're telling me that it'll take 6 to 12 weeks for the actual mending to happen on the bone regenerated stuff. And so I'm going to see if I can surprise them when they look at the x-ray the next time they see me, and see how far they think the healing is going. It's going to be really nice to kind of like check that and see how that goes, because I'm looking at everything totally different. I had a decision to make. One of the decisions was I don't have to have the same thing happen this time that I had the last time. And I'm also a lot more positive about um, about everything. I'm not in victim mode as much as I was the last time, and because I'm not a wounded bird anymore, I can take control of my own healing. Control. There's the word control again. I can do my own healing. I can do this. I'm starting to get warm, and also, I'm not taking as much painkillers as what they want me to take, and I'm not having the pain. So I think that I've been doing like healing chamber stuff. I've been focusing light infusion into my whole body to help me heal. And just going to keep doing that. And so if you don't really hear very much from me in the next bit of time, I'm just going to be focusing on the healing. But I will come back, don't worry. I will be back. And then when I come back, I will be having a total focus change on heart-based living, and there's going to be lots of new content. And I'm also considering not just the YouTube channel, but I'm also considering doing a channel on Rumble. So all of the videos that I put on the YouTube, I will put on Rumble as well, because we never know what's going to happen with social media platforms going forward, and especially because I'm doing a lot of things about healing. And I noticed that some people are having problems on their channels, on their YouTube channels, that are like teaching healing. So it might have to move over to the Rumble. If that's the case, I will put my link in my descriptions of the videos so that you can go over to the Rumble page, and I'll let you know, like when that happens or if that happens. So I'm sending you lots and lots of love, and we will see you the next time. I don't know when that will be, but I will see you the next time on the Heart-Based Living with Robin Nicole. Sending you so much love and so much light. The autumn is my favorite time of the year, when the air smells clean and crispy, when the apples are ready to pick from the trees, the smell of fresh baked apple bread and the taste of freshly pressed apples, when the countryside all of a sudden is painted the most brilliant colors as far as your eyes can see. I love this time of the year and treasure the newly fallen leaves under my feet, and the taste of hot apple cider dipped in cinnamon and spice, along with my freshly baked apple bread made from a recipe handed down from generation to generation.